The Nii Ayidzaku family in Accra has warned people and other families from the lands that belong to them. In a press conference, which was addressed by the finance head of customary lands, Nii Ayidzaku, the family reminded the people and families on the legal tussle they have gone through to get their lands. Nii Ayidzaku narrated in details the rulings from the legal battles, some of which travels through almost all the level of the legal system in Ghana. According to him, some of these families have flouted the judgment of the courts and have gone to develop the land even when the courts barred them from doing so. He reminded the public that documents available to them prove that the Nii Ayidzaku family are legitimate owners of such lands in Kwabenya, Ashalman, Agbogba, Domi, Hacho, and Katapo.
At the High Court, the justices of the High Court actually set out issues that need to be settled during the trial. One, because they claim they had the land from wars and other things, the judge set out the issues as such. One, whether or not plaintiff family are owners of the land, the subject matter of the litigation. Two, whether or not plaintiff family became owners of the said land through settlement after the Katamanso War in the 1820s. Whether or not plaintiff and his family have possessed the land and farmed on it for over 100 years. The next is whether or not the plaintiff land title certificate was fraudulently obtained. E. Whether or not the defendants are the owners of the land, subject matter of the suit. And the last, whether or not plaintiffs are entitled to their claims. And the judge continues, from the pleadings, I also add whether or not the defendants are entitled to their counterclaims. So during the trial, they were allowed to amend their pleas 3 times. And here, the judge commented as this: on the available evidence, therefore, the plaintiff claimed that the land in dispute was acquired by conquest, settlement, and by reward, that is spoils of war with the ashantis. The general opinion, one of the opinions who came as what? If, as noted above, Kwabena was already a Ghana community, why would its land be given to the plaintiff family as spoils of war? A case against Nii Kofi family, the judge made a cogent opinion on the matter, and I read and I quote from the judgment. Throughout the case, the plaintiff family claimed that Nii Kofi family claimed that the land in dispute was granted to them by the elders of Pokwasi. And the judge said the law is that the proper person to prove the title of a grantee is the grantor. So if I have a car and I was sold my car to somebody and there's a problem, I have to go and prove it at court. Surprisingly, the plaintiff failed to call any member of the said family in proof of their acquisition of their land. The failure of the plaintiff to call such material witness is clearly fatal to their case. Per the totality of evidence led, it is my candid opinion that the plaintiff failed to demonstrate that they are entitled to the relief they are seeking, for which reason I dismiss same. Accordingly, since, for instance, they failed to clearly identify the boundaries of their land, call material witness among others. If they are boundaries, they couldn't identify their boundaries. They couldn't even call their guarantor to come and witness for them. In contrast, there is evidence before me that the first and the fifth defendant were able to prove their counterclaim per the totality evidence net, for which reason I accordingly grant the fifth defendant counterclaim as follows. All our counterclaims were granted. But let's come back to Nii Ayidzaku family proper. Between the plaintiff and the fourth defendant, which is the Nii Ayidzaku family, the fourth defendant admits the plaintiff family owns land within the vicinity and that they even share a common boundary with them. And that if for anything at all, this is the opinion of the judge, for that, and that if for anything at all, the plaintiff family owned 40% of the 416.88 acres of land claimed by them, while the remaining 60% form part of the fourth defendant family, the Ayidzaku family. That's the opinion of the judge, if anything at all. According to the fourth defendant family, that is my family, Nii Ayidzaku family, they were in effective possession of their land without any challenge from anyone after its acquisition until 1904, when a dispute arose over sale. On the third day of May 1904, the Supreme Court of Gold Coast delivered its judgment in that case titled Kosi Busupin and another, the Smart and others, and entered judgment for the fourth defendant family, that's Nii Ayidzaku family. This clearly goes to show that the fourth defendant total land area is covered by the 1904, which I currently hold same as such.
Again, Nii Ayidzaku called on law enforcement agencies, especially the police, land commission, and all relevant agencies and bodies, to ensure that other families comply with the judgment of the courts. Finally, he called on the land minister to look into the activities of the land commission, where he claims some people have turned it into gold mines. He also asked the developers on their lands to come and acquire tenancy from them. That is, all developers involved should approach the family's customary land secretariat to regularize their documents.
They fail totally to prove even where they got the land from. Even here, they acquired the land. When we read through the judgment, they claim that they had the land from Pokwasi in 1634. And Pokwasi was founded in 1782. So the time you got the land from Pokwasi was not founded. So they lied to the court. Do you know what they did at the site, which the judgment had never captured? They went and dig graves. They put out graves, about 6-7 graves. Then when we went to the land, so we were going to grade, we actually grade the graves, and there is nothing in there. It's an empty grave. There was total nothing in that grave. I tried to still do that to family lands. Once again, another thing that goes to land commission. This one goes to land commission. We have a case with one family called Ayidzaku, and our name is on the land, our declaration is on the land, our judgment is on the land. But now they have managed, just recently, they have managed to register Ayidzaku people's name on the land, and they are issued certificate to developers. This is land commission for you. Our declaration in 1976 is on the land. Our 1980 judgment is on the land, and they have never atoned tenancy to us, or we haven't granted land to them, but they have managed to register and have certificate, and they are giving their dwelling certificate. So I once again reiterate my call for the land minister, the land secretary, to the land commission to actually set up an inquiry into all these matters, so that the perpetrators should be punished. They are destroying the name of the Land Commission. They should be punished.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.